From Seismitoad EX's Quaking Punch to Vileplume's Irritating Pollen, Item Lock has always been very powerful in the Pokemon TCG, especially when you can get it off on the very first turn. So that's why when I saw Pikachu V Union in one of its attacks, I knew this card had some potential. Being able to use that Disconnect attack for 150 damage whilst also Item Locking your opponent seemed incredibly strong. But there was one key flaw at the time. There was no good way to accelerate Lightning Energies, especially if you wanted to attack on the first turn. Getting 3 Lightning Energies on a Pikachu V Union was impossible. But after Scarlet and Violet came out, Electric Generator was printed, which allowed us to accelerate Lightning Energies much more easily. So you're probably wondering, hey Alloutblitzle, if Electric Generator came out in Scarlet and Violet and truly broke this deck, then why did it not succeed in the previous format? And that is a great question, and the reason why I think this deck is much improved after Paldea evolved is mainly because of Squawk ability X. Now, Squawk and C's ability, being able to discard 6 cards from our hand on our very first turn and draw to weave 6 into our hand, it makes it so much easier to get our V-Union pieces into the discard pile. And another tremendous card that the deck gains is Iono. I know every deck gains Iono, but this deck especially, because it can combine it with Item Lock, or we have some other attackers that we can attack with in the early game, and we can just go Iono plus Item Lock. So this just seems incredibly powerful. So here's my current list of Pikachu V Union. Pikachu V Union, of course, has 3 very powerful attacks. It has that typical Union gain attack, which is nothing really to write home about. We have a Shocking Shock, which for 2 energies does 120 and leaves the flip a coin, and if heads, it paralyzes. We have that Disconnect attack, which we're building around, is 150 damage and Item Lock, and then it has Electro Ball together for 3 energies that does 250 damage. So V-Unions are always very hard to set up. You have to get 4 pieces into the discard pile, which is not always the most practical thing to do, so we're building our deck to try to get all 4 V-Union pieces in the discard pile as fast as possible. So I'm playing 2 Mews from Celebrations. The Mysterious Tail helps us find our VIPs, our Ultra Balls, our Shoes, just get through the deck extremely quickly, get our V-Union pieces into the discard pile, then find those generators to accelerate energies. 2 Squawk abilities, because that Squawk and Seize ability is just so important. Games where we cannot use Squawk ability genuinely feel like losses. Like, that's how strong the ability is in this deck. Just being able to discard our pieces or just dig into the deck is just simply amazing. Another new card that this deck gains is that 1 Pikachu EX. And its second attack does 120 damage, and we do flip a coin, and if tails, we have to discard all energies. So this is better than Miraidon in my opinion, because it is free retreat first of all, so we can put it in the active spot and then have it as a pivot, so when we want to do Electric Generator to one of our bench Pokemon. And I'd say it's better than Miraidon just because of the free retreat and not having to reset on the attack necessarily. The energy discard is an unfortunate drawback, but I do think the free retreat is enough to carry it over Miraidon in this particular deck. I think 1 Raikou, that Lightning Rondo, is just such a solid attack in most matchups, and my other Lightning Attacker Pokemon is Raichu, to close out those games where Pikachu is capped at 250 or 280 with a Choice Belt, so we want to have Raichu to be able to close out on those VMAXs and EXs. Like 1 Lumineon, so we can quickly and efficiently find that Adventurer's Discovery to get those V-Unions into the discard pile. 1 Galarian Articuno is very nice because it just means we can thin through those V-Union pieces, or just in the later turns get through unwanted cards, thin out the deck for potential Ionos. Just don't want to end up with dead cards. Radiant Greninja is nice because we can thin through our energies. Just we want to be seeing a ton of cards with this deck, so there's like so much turbo stuff going on here. So Radiant Greninja just great to plow through those energies, get through the deck, see as many cards as possible. The 2 aforementioned Adventurer's Discoveries, it's just a great card in this deck to be able to grab 3 V-Union pieces. We just want to set up as fast as possible, so Adventurer's Discovery makes a ton of sense. Iono is just amazing because we can disrupt our opponent's hand, we can draw quite a few cards ourselves, we can combine it with Item Lock or combine it with a big one-shot. We're playing 2 Boss's Orders. I definitely could see Boss's Orders, like maybe the count going down in this deck. Item Lock plus Boss has always been an incredibly powerful combo in the Pokemon TCG because we can lock our opponent from switching out of their Pokemon. We're going 1 Peonia because otherwise games where we prized a Union piece would basically be an auto loss. We had to have that Peonia to fish them out. We're playing a very aggressive 4 VIP pass and 4 Ultra Balls. I always want to hit at least 1 Battle VIP pass to be able to find that Squawk ability, Articuno, Mew, Radiant Greninja, all our turbo pieces. And Ultra Ball can help us find those V-Union pieces and help them discard them, so both of them are incredibly important. Of course, Electric Generator is what keeps this deck going. Without it, this deck just would simply not work. 4 Trekking Shoes is that bit more dig, like it can help us discard V-Union pieces, just get through the deck as fast as possible. It's definitely a recurring theme, just turbo, get through the deck is just extremely important. 3 switches because we do have some chunkier Pokemon that to move around, especially the Articuno, and Like we like to have that Mew in the active spot to help us fish out our electric generators and just those item cards in the early turns. So you'll do electric generator to a bench Pokemon, then pivot with a switch is always very nice. 2 super odds because we go through our deck very quickly, so we sort of just have to discard energies, and we like to be able to throw them back in the late game for just late pushes with electric generator. 1 Pal Pad for pretty much the same reason as super odd. We have to discard our supporters sometimes, so we just want to have more of them for the late game. 2 Forest Seal Stones because we just want a V-Star power in this deck. We need that computer search effect of the Forest Seal Stone on that very first turn to help us set up that Pikachu V-Union play. 1 Choice Belt just so our mainly for the Pikachu V-Union, so it can reach 280 and one-shot a Arceus V-Star, but also is nice on Pikachu EX to be able to hit 250 damage, where it can one-shot a Dragonite V. Then I'm playing 3 Pokestops, and Pokestops is one of the most busted cards in this deck. It can discard V-Union pieces, find our items, just churn through the deck. Such an awesome card in this one. And I'm only playing 11 Lightning Energies. I know that sounds like a lot, but in a generator deck, it generally feels kind of low. Like, I'd like to have, honestly, if I could fit 15, I would, but unfortunately, we have to fit a lot of other cards. And I just don't want a handful of energies, but I also don't want to be whiffing generators, so it's kind of a dangerous game you have to play, but this is where I'm at. This deck is very, very fun, and I've actually been very impressed with how it's done in testing. I thought it was just going to be sort of a meme deck, and it has such a strong Lost in Box matchup. Like, it might have the best Lost in Box matchup in the game. If you combine that 300 HP with the item lock, like those Gate Lost in Box decks are pretty much handcuffed as soon as you start using Disconnect. And I thought this deck would struggle pretty extremely with Arceus decks, and I found it to maybe be just a slightly even to maybe even it was a very even matchup, like maybe slightly favored to slightly unfavored. I only played about a half dozen games in that one particular matchup, so definitely a deck I want to test more. This is one of my favorite decks to play right now. It's just so fun, so fast, just so satisfying to play. If I were going to a tournament and just wanted a fun deck, this would probably be it. But it definitely seems to have some pretty solid meta matchups that could warrant a closer look for competitive play. What do you guys think of Pikachu V-Union? Is it just a meme deck? Does it have competitive potential? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you want to see another very annoying deck, you should check out my Arceus Aerodactyl video. It is a very annoying deck that has a ton of ability locking strategies, and it's just overall pretty funny to play. So go ahead and check that one out.